Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're looking at the geometry editor and how we can use the geometry editor to create material zones so we can customize clothes and props. So let's get to it. Okay, so here we are in Daz Studio. In this week's tutorial we'll be looking at the geometry editor, and with the geometry editor it's a very useful tool in Daz Studio, and we're going to go through the basics on what we can use the geometry editor to do in Daz Studio. Now normally with the geometry editor you would use it for geography, you would use it for rigging, and you would use it for defaults. So we're going to learn the basics today, and let's get started with that straight away. So what I've done here is I've created a primitive, a cube of 10 divisions, and we need to see the polygons of the cube. So to see that we need to go to draw style. So click here and I'm going to choose my draw style to wire shaded. So I'm going to change my draw style to wire shaded, and now I can see the individual polygons that make up this cube. Now when I move my mouse over the cube, you can see that Daz Studio sees this as one big surface, as there's just nothing else. It just interprets the cube as one big surface. And what we can do with the geometry editor is we can create individual surfaces on this cube. So we can, it's like when you have clothing or props, when you click on the surfaces, when you click on the props or the clothes, you can choose individual sections. So that's what we do. We're trying to create sections of this cube so we can customize the cube. So to do that, we need to find the geometry editor tool first. So we go to the tool settings here tab, we click on this drop down menu here, and we choose geometry editor. If you do not have this tool settings tab here, you can go to window, panes, and then tool settings, and then that will pop up for you. Okay, so the first thing we can do is, if I keep my left mouse button pressed on the cube, nothing happens. Why nothing happens? Because I didn't select the cube. I didn't tell Daz Studio that I want to be working on the cube. So now I click on it, I should be able to select the polygons on the cube. So left mouse button pressed, keeping it down, and dragging, and you can see the polygons are turning yellow. So these are the polygons that I'm selecting, which is called our selection. So this is my selection that I'm doing. If I let go and move to a different part of the cube and start selecting, my original selection goes away. Now to get more selections, to grow my selections, I keep the control button key pressed on my keyboard, and I can select as many polygons out as I want to. So I can select these here. I can even go on this side here if I really wanted to, select these. As long as I keep my control button pressed on my keyboard, it's fine. I can turn around as well, keeping my control button pressed still. And I can go on the other side and select whatever I want to do. As soon as I let go and start selecting something else, I lose my previous selection. Okay, so for example, what if I wanted to select these here and I accidentally selected these by accident, say. What I can do then is keep the Alt key pressed, and I can start deselecting these. So I'm keeping my Alt key pressed, I'm pressing my left mouse button, and I'm deselecting the ones. I'm just keeping my left mouse button pressed and just going over the ones I don't want, the polygons. Okay, so now we know how to select polygons and how to get rid of polygons and how to get more polygons if you made a mistake, and how to get rid of polygons. Great. So what else can we do? So there's a few shortcuts. If you right click, you get the menu, selection menu. So you've got the different selection types: polygon, edge, and vertex. I'm not going to go through edge and vertex because I don't really use them. Polygon is the one I use, that everyone uses the most. Selection mode is quite straightforward. You've got drag, which is the one that we're using now. We've got lasso, which is just like you use in your Photoshop or any kind of drawing equipment, drawing software. You just draw a lasso, and everything inside that polygons inside that lasso will be selected. And then you've got the marquee selection. If you draw a rectangle or square, it will select all the polygons within that area. So we're going to go back to drag selection. So there are a few other shortcuts that you can do. So when we right click and we go to geometry selection, you can see there are some shortcuts here for invert selection, control plus, and all these selections. What I normally do is I would select, say, a few, and then I would press control, and then I would press plus to grow my selection. Okay. If I keep doing that, it will carry on growing the selection. So it will carry on selecting until it selects all of them. Okay. Another way, for example, so say for example if I wanted to select all of these, instead of just using my left mouse button and dragging all the way, take forever. What we can do is we can select the boxes that are just outside just outside from the end. We can right click, we can go to a geometry selection, and we can do boundary. So what that does is select everything, select the boundary. So if I go around, it hasn't selected anything else, just the boundary there. And then I can obviously use my control and I can just select these very easily. And I've got selected my full face there of my cube, polygons of my cube. Okay, so that's enough about selection. So what can we actually do? So when we go to our surfaces tab here and we go to editor, over here the cube, Daz Studio sees the cube primitive as one surface, as a default surface, which is over here as well, default surface. So what we can do is we can create individual surfaces. So what we're going to do now is select these. I'm going to select these here. I'm actually going to go all the way around. I've got my control key pressed down so I can carry on. I'm going to go all around. And there we go. So I selected all those. So now I need to tell Daz Studio now that I want to create a surface with the selection of these polygons. So right click, geometry assignment, create surface from the selected. So create surface from the selected polygons that I've selected. And give it a name. So I can give it a name, call it top. Accept. And you'll see tops here as well. And tops here as well now. So we've actually created a surface now for this cube. So I can go inside now to that surface, and I can change the color of that surface only. So if I wanted red, there it is. I'll click off it, and there it is, red. It's gone all red all the way around, and I haven't affected anything else because that's our surface we created. Go back to my geometry editor. Go back to the cube. So what we can also do as well, obviously, is change the shader for this. So I can go to iRay, and I say, oh, I want granite black for that bit there. And I'm going to go to my NVIDIA iRay preview, and we can see, there it is, granite black. Not the best looking thing, but you can see what we can do. So go back to my wire shaded. So what we can do is we can do this for any area of the cube, as long as we've got the polygons. So I can say, right, I want the bottom half now, or you could do any old shape. I wanted a shape like this, for example. Don't forget to keep that control key pressed. There we go. There's my shape. Just keep it more or less the same. Just get rid of that one there. There we go. So there we go, and then I can just say, right click, assignment, create surface, and we can just call it X because it's an X shape. There we go. And for my X surface, I'm going to change it to glass, and I want clear glass. And when I do my preview, come off there, you'll see that it's turned into glass. Okay, so that's how we can create surfaces for cubes. For any primitive you want to. What else we could do as well, which is really cool, is if we wanted to actually hide some polygons that you didn't want. So when you're doing geografting, you will have to actually hide polygons. So I'll show you how to do that as well, how we can hide polygons. So let's go back to our wire shaded mode. Let me get my geometry editor tool again. And what I'm going to do now is actually come around this side. And I'm going to select some polygons. We'll select some polygons here. We'll do that. Actually, we'll do that. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to visibility, and I'm going to do hide selected polygons. So those are hidden now. So when I go to my iRay preview, we should be able to see through the actual primitive now. So there you go. You can actually see through the primitive. Don't know how well that's showing up, but you can see now through the primitive what we can do there. So you can do this for clothes as well. You can do this for any prop or any item. You can use your geometry editor tool for anything like that. So I'm going to show you how we can do this with clothes as well. So let me just load that up right now. Alright, so here we are. I've loaded my character here, my scene that I've just done earlier. So this is a dress here. And what I've done here is I purposely put a belly button here. And obviously we can't see the belly button. Here it is, but it is here. And so what I can do is use that method where we can hide the polygons and actually show that, and we can kind of customize the dress, so to speak. So I'm going to make sure I click on the dress because that's what I want to edit the geometry of. I'm going to make sure I'm on wire shading mode as well, so I can see the polygons. So if we go zoom in here, turn right. So our belly button is round about here, so I can click on these polygons here, and I can do right click and I can do visibility and hide selected polygons. Okay, so I'll probably need to do a bit more here actually, judging by that. Go to our visibility, hide. So when I zoom out now and go to the IRA preview mode, you should be able to see the belly button. And there you go, there's the belly button. So obviously we can take that to a bit more extreme approach, so we can go back to our wire shaded, and I can go in and say, you know what, I don't like this part of the dress here, I don't want these bits here. So what I'm going to do is actually just get rid of them. I want to edit the dress. So you can kind of almost like edit dresses and kind of make a unique clothing almost. So we could do that as well. That's kind of cool. So I can hide these. Remember, these are hidden. You can always get them back. So we can always say show all polygons and they'll all come back. So it's not like they're gone forever. Daz Studio does remember the polygons, the ones that you removed, so you can always get them back. It's not like you've deleted them. So visibility, hide selected. And now I'm going to come back out from here and we're going to have a look in NVIDIA. There we go. We've kind of made a custom dress, more or less, with a strange shape here, but I'm sure you could think of better things to do. We could do the same with the back of the dress if you wanted to. We could have a little cutout or something. What we can also do is obviously change the color. So in this case, if we have a look at the surfaces of this dress, there's the dress edge and there's the dress. So let's have a look at the dress edge, see what that does. So there's the edge and there's the dress. Right, so we can obviously edit this, so we can go in and say, right, let's go back to our wire shaded. Let's have a look. Okay, we can say, right, I want to select all these polygons here, say the middle third here. So you got to make sure you got to go around as well, select those as well. Keeping my control key pressed, so I can select all these. That's all selected. I'm going to right click and I'm going to tell Daz Studio I want to create a selection assignment. I'm going to create a new surface, just call this line. So if I go to my surfaces over here, you can see line here and line there. Now what happens is when you create a surface, you'll see what happens. Let me just take this off. When you create a surface, if you have a look here, the original settings, whatever they are, because this is an IRA Uber, every time you create a surface, it will always be, the IRA Uber will always shade, it will always be the base. So if you're using a old prop or an old dress like this, for example, you'll always end up with IRA Uber shader base, because that's what the default is for Daz Studio. So I mean, that doesn't really matter. We can always change this, so we can always go to our preset shaders and we can say IRA and let's give it a crystal effect, or we can do, actually let's give it a leather effect. That's even better. So there we go, there's that kind of strange leather effect type thing going on. I'm sure you can think of better things to do there. Or we could actually have hidden those, so we could go to back to the geometry selector, editor, these are already highlighted. I can just right click here and go to selection and say visibility and say hide. And there you go. We've made our custom outfit, so to speak. So there's lots you can do with the geometry editor. This is just the basics and how you can use the tools, how you can hide the polygons, how you can show the polygons, how you can add your own custom surfaces and add your own shaders to it to make unique clothing. So there's many things you could do like that in Daz Studio with the geometry editor. So have a play around with that and see what you can come up with, and I'd love to see what you can do with those with the geometry editor. Okay, so we learned the basics of how to use the geometry editor to create surfaces so we can create customized clothing with the material zones. And in next week's video we're looking at rigging. And while you wait for that video, check out these videos here, hit the subscribe button over there, leave a comment down below, and if you liked the video give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in next week's video.